We're getting close to our start time here.
And we're off. So let's go ahead and give you some lane assignments again, just to remind you it's been a minute here. In lane 3, Buffalo. In lane 4, Buffalo A. In lane 5, RSR Elite. In lane 6, St. Catharines. And lane 7, Buffalo RCC. Looks like all crews are cleanly off the line here and still connected to one another. Again, only 30 seconds in, so we'll give this a little bit of time to shake out here. This is the grand final 5-boat race. Should be pretty exciting. And remember, too, we go inside outward, so it is not uncommon to see this chevron shape, as the middle lanes are typically the fastest crews from the heats that get seeded into the center lanes first.
Yeah, correct. And in those middle lanes right now, you can see those two lanes, lane 4 and lane 5, that are just scooting out a little bit from the other crews. I think it looks like lane 3, Buffalo, is working to stay with them. But our other Buffalo crew in lane 4 and RSR Elite in lane 5 are challenging each other right now to get out, open up some distance between them and the other boats. And we are just approaching, you can see that sort of time difference between the singles and the eights, because we're just approaching that 1 minute and 30 second mark through the first 500. So this is a good row, great conditions out there for all of these boats.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, conditions, like you said, are really nice today. So even amongst the eights, these 500 splits are actually a little bit faster than they were yesterday. So that is why we are seeing some of these quicker times now. We just have the best water here. We are so lucky to be out here with such amazing conditions. And right now we're looking at lane 5, that is RSR Elite in that first place spot. Like you said, Buffalo RC in lane 4 on the hunt, about 3 to 4 seats down. Again, a little deceiving from our angle here, 3 to 4 seats, give or take. And then we look over to the far lane, that is Buffalo RCA. Again, actually, we have 2 listed, 3 and 4 listed as RCA, so we're not sure which is A and which is B. But we have 2 Buffalo boats.
Yeah, and it does look like right now that lane 4 Buffalo boat is working to put on a little bit of pressure on that RSR Elite crew, but it kind of feels like that RSR crew is not having it right now.
No, I'm with you there. They are definitely not having it.
And so you can see they're still maintaining that lead position, although here comes Buffalo in lane 4. You know, just a seat or 2 behind that RSR crew. This is going to be really fun to watch come that last 500 of the race.
Yeah, not only that, but I've said this before and I'll say it again, that I love a slow burn with a crew. So what's happening here is this crew in Buffalo in lane 4 is being really patient. And that takes a lot of maturity and a lot of confidence in your race plan. So it's okay to race from this position. In fact, I know a lot of crews that like to race from a little bit behind. However, those crews are very confident that they actually have the gear to go when they really need to. So they're relying on this other crew getting a little bit tired in that third 500.
Yep. Which can be a risky move because you do not know what their training is like, what their physiology, what their game plan is. And so you can see here, actually, it does look like that lane 5 RSR is at a slightly lower stroke rate than that lane 4 Buffalo crew right now. And so that might play into their advantage because, well, like we were talking about before, that crew is going to have a little more space to go up when they start to, or if they need to accelerate that boat a little bit faster. And it looks like we just went through that 750-meter marker there. So we are well into this third 500. And you can see RSR is working to open up that gap a little bit more. This is a solid 500 meters from them. And then as we pan out here, we are seeing our race for third open up. And that is going to be in lane 3, our other Buffalo crew. And in lane 6, that is our St. Catharines crew. And then we see on the top left corner of our screen, our other Buffalo RCC boat. And so right now, the main storyline is going to be for that places 1 and 2 because Buffalo is staying right there with RSR currently. Looks like RSR might have just kicked it in a little bit, maybe started a little bit of an earlier sprint or at least a focus there. So a nice little push from them, and you can see they are starting to walk away a little bit now from that Buffalo crew.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting in this Buffalo crew, too, is we're seeing a long second half here. They are throwing the hands away just a little bit quickly out of the bow here, which may be, hindering them just a teeny bit compared to this RSR Elite crew that is hanging in there, but they are getting the stroke rate up a little bit higher. So They're trying to compensate by kicking the rate up a little bit. So we'll see if it pays off for them right now. But this RSR crew is just absolutely responding to this move.
And I am so here for all of our fans right now, all of our super fans that are along the shore and at home watching, cheering for your crews, because it does look like this RSR crew is taking off in this men's U17 8. And they are right now in that position to be first place through the line. So unofficially, we have RSR Elite in lane 5 in first through the line. Buffalo in lane 4 coming in second there.
Yeah, that was a great response by RSR and then a great effort from Buffalo, really challenging them in the last bit there.
And now we see here our other crews just sort of rounding out the field. Coming past our announcer booth right now, we have that lane 7, our other Buffalo RCC boat that is finishing off their race right here. Looking still really solid with that sprint, continuing to increase that stroke rate.
You know, I love to see this age group out here on the water, especially in the summer, getting a lot of rows down the course in a lot of different boat classes. This is really, really good for younger athletes, too. Again, before the school year is even kicked back in and started again. So they have all of this experience, this national experience, before going back to their club or their school, their college, whatever.